Well, back for another visit is a very talented comedian by the name of Kip Adotta.
Hi, Mike.
Good to see you.
Good to be back so soon.
Yeah. I normally, you know, they'd expect me to start out with doing some real funny stuff with you, but I know that you had what could be called a little setback.
Well, me and Hamilton Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan.
Jordan and I had the same problem.
No, you
well, we
did.
had a bit of a setback, yeah.
Can you talk about it at all?
Well, generally, yeah. I got into some trouble politically.
Excuse me, are you auditioning for a barbershop quartet?
I'm going to, right after this, I go down to the Masonic Temple.
You're always ahead of your
neat,
time.
though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is kind of neat.
Cleveland.
Yeah.
Anyway, you know, most of the people I work with as an opening act, I get along pretty well with. Oh, calm down, Mike. Good God, it's 1982.
I'm sorry. I broke myself up, which is very difficult to do.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, okay. Anyway, that you don't have to worry. That won't
That's
offend
coming
anyone.
back, right?
Most of the people I work with are pretty neat at getting back to the business at hand. But sometimes, you know, you run into people that are into power plays. You know, they want you to get women for them. They want you to play
Stars
poker.
You're talking about.
Yeah, they want you to play poker with them all night long. They want you to cut the funny pieces out of your show. They want you to just, you know, they're suffering under the Sam Cooke syndrome. And that's what I was, Sam Cooke required all that of all the people under him, okay? That type of thing. And which may be why he was shot to death at the end of the thing. But, and I was in a situation like that.
You were working for somebody like that?
I was working for someone where he expected more than just...
You're doing your bit on stage.
to warm up the audience.
Sure.
There was a little more entail than, you know...
like what? They expected all those things you just described?
Wanted you
to get girls for him?
Wanted me to get women, wanted me to supply him with women, then he would supply them with drugs and things like that.
Holy Toledo.
So he had no love for me because I wasn't going to do that. I'm kind of a hard case about that. I've kind of got an ego involved in that. I like to do my show and do a good job at my show and then go back to my room, you know. And so one thing led to another. And finally he went to the management of the hotel and said, hey, I can't work with this guy. He's a drug addict.
Oh, my goodness.
And what did you have no recourse on something?
Well, no, because the agency says, let's see now,
who
brings in the most money here?
You're being serious.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
And the hotel, of course, was the same thing. They fired me that night. They made me take my own name off the marquee.
Oh, come on.
I'm kidding.
No, wait a minute. They fired you that night. They had to pay you off because you were...
Right after the show, I was walking... Yeah, they had to pay me off. I was walking off the show, and his bodyguard came and said, pack your things and take a hike. And if you go to him, you have to go through me. The bodyguard says, and don't go to him.
If you want to go...
If you want to don't go to him and ask him any questions, you'll have to come through me, pal. In other words, if you say anything, I'm going to...
You know, this is scary. Isn't that unbelievable what this man is telling you? That things like this exist?
There are a lot of bullies in this world, and quite often, it's very interesting, they wind up with power.
Yeah.
From Adolf Hitler on down.
Yeah, they say all the right things when the camera's on. And since then, well, that was 2 years ago. Yesterday, after 2 years, from that little incident, yesterday, after 2 years, I finally signed through my manager, Kenny Fritz, with a major agency after 2 years.
He used to be with the Smothers Brothers, Kenny.
I know
Kenny, yeah.
And that took me 2 years.
You were blackballed for 2 years,
Well, that's kind of a strong word, but yeah, kind of. Yeah, they were afraid of me. You know, you can be anything you want in this business, I find, except undependable. You know, that's the one thing that people will not tolerate in show business. You can call up sick if you're a brain surgeon, but if you're a comic or an actor, actress, you cannot, you have to be there, or they go through tremendous changes. And I can see the agency's point, okay? I can see that, hey, maybe this is true. We don't want, you know, hey, come on.
Is it going to be tough coming back, seeing the same faces and the same people?
Well, it's not the same agency.
No, I don't mean that. I mean up there.
No, because I understand if what I was accused of were true. As a matter of fact, the agency told me, the next day I was back in L.A., they told me, go to the doctor, have him sign a paper saying that you had a nervous breakdown. And I said, I'm not going to do that, man. I didn't have a nervous breakdown. Finally, my wife said, I said to my wife, what do I do? She said, well, don't do that.
Did you think of leaving the business at all?
Yeah, well, I took a year off.
Did you?
Yeah, I was really...
That's very costly.
Well, the children were working.
I knew you'd come up with that.
Yeah, it was costly. I worked 3 days a month. That's what I did. I said, okay, I'll work 3 days a month.
Have you seen this person, the star that is doing this to you?
No,
you
no
seen
one
him since?
has.
Really?
No one has. No. Well, you see, I'm not the only person that he's played this game with, okay?
Wow.
And you know what they say, you know, as long as you're on
dying to know who
But
it is,
yes,
Gloria?
but what do you do to get rid of your anger about this? I mean, you have to be carrying a lot of hostility and anger around.
And
So
that's
how
not
do you
good
get
for you.
rid of that?
I've always found that I don't have to get even. I've always really found that the people who do me wrong, something always happens to them. And sure enough, this guy
Good
is
thinking.
you don't see him anymore. He's not around because I'm not the only person he's done this to. You know, people that are like that to everyone, not just me.
Would I'd certainly know this.
As a matter of fact, the first television show I ever did was your show in Philadelphia, and he was one of the guests, as a matter of fact. Anyway,
Let's look that tape up tonight.
I'm going to go back through my files.
but things are going very well
I
for
will
me,
let
actually.
you know out there. Being somewhat public, couldn't he have it in for you? I mean, couldn't this bodyguard of his be waiting at your door some night, or does that
Kip
worry
didn't do anything to him.
No, I didn't
so
do
why would he have it in?
talking? Well, he's not mentioning his name, so it
No.
doesn't.
But actually, getting back, I hate to repeat myself, but things are going well for me now.
You're separated from your wife right now.
Separated from my wife,
How's
but
that
she's here
working
tonight.
out?
She's out in the,
Is
out
she?
in the green room.
Well, then you're not separated from her.
Well, not physically, not
Not
right now.
only a
no.
floor apart.
And we get along pretty well, actually. She needed to get out. She needed to get out of the house. She wanted to be on her own. She wanted to have her own house. She wanted to have her own job. She's
What
a
about
victim of the
You have
revolution.
children, don't you?
Yes, I have one child with me. She has another child with her. And we live fairly close together, so the kids come and they sleep where they want, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of women are going through that. I think a lot of women are out there thinking that, you know, they saw that image of that Carol Little girl strutting down Broadway and with her own job and her own car and her own credit cards. And that's great. Now, all that thing is perfectly valid. All those ambitions are wonderful. But on the other hand, there's not a lot of love out there. You know, you can get the car, you can get the disco, you can get the drink, and you can get the drugs, and you can get the sex. There's not a lot of love out there, and I think a lot of women finally end up out there, and they say, whoa, wait a minute.
This isn't like I
Scary.
thought it was going to be.
Yeah, this is not like I thought.
Cold
It's not like my
out
girlfriends told me it was going to be.
Where will you be appearing next now, since you mentioned you're going
yeah,
back?
I'm going to San Francisco, it's opening the 26th at the Punchline, and I'm going to San Antonio,
Texas?
Texas, and I just finished Caesar's Tahoe with Shirley MacLaine.
Oh, my.
Things are,
Oh, good.
yeah,
for you.
That's nice.
Please stay.
thank you.
And
I will.
he and I will sing Down by the Old Mill Stream. We'll be right back with Stargazer Joyce Jilson.